Well, Black and White Network, I don't want to hear a single word ever that the Democratic Party is the party of democracy when they actually overthrew democracy in their own party. They got rid of Joe Biden. They said, Joe, you got to go, man. You can't beat Trump. And then all of a sudden now, they're anointing Kamala Harris as their nominee without any input from their voters. This is the Democratic Party, man. Not very democratic, man. Definitely does seem very, very communistic to me, if that's even a word. Well, Kamala Harris is now out there. And folks, I've been actually watching some polls, some other YouTube videos on the projections for Trump against Kamala Harris. And folks, it's not good for Kamala Harris. I mean, for one thing, man, she is super left-wing, ultra progressive. And that's just not going to get it done, man. Then at that, man, a lot of people just don't like her, man. Her record in California is atrocious. Atrocious. And also, you know, they're trying to prop up Kamala Harris, you know, as this black person when she's not black. She's not. She's Indian. She grew up in an Indian family. Her father is from Jamaica. He's like half black. Kamala Harris is about 20% black. If that's the case, man, I'm 20% white. So I guess I can start calling myself white, right? No. However, guys, the Democrats, though, to get serious now, they have a major problem. Young people, man. Young people have been moving towards Trump. Now that Kamala Harris is in the race, is she actually getting that young vote back? Nope. Not according to CNN, man. Harry Anton, their pollster, man, he's saying that Kamala Harris is in big trouble, man. Big trouble. Now, I mentioned some of the other projections that I actually saw for the Electoral College. For the most part, guys, even with Kamala Harris, Trump is still getting like 320 to like 340 electoral votes. The projections still got to go out there and vote. If that happens, man, that is a landslide right there. Landslide. But let's go ahead and get into this clip, guys. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member. Member live stream every single Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. You're watching on Rumble, click the join button to get access to the same thing. And everyone can also support us by becoming a member on blackandwhitenetwork.com or supporting us on Locals for just $5 per month. Check the links in the description. So here we go. Let's go ahead and roll this clip here from CNN. Kamala Harris with young voters, man. She's not moving the needle. And usually, guys, that is the cornerstone of the Democratic Party. I'm talking about like 60% of young people. I'm talking about between the ages of like 18 and 35 or 29, something like that. Usually they vote Democrat. Not so much now, guys. Let's roll it.
One man knows the answer. CNN senior data reporter Harry. And in this case, I say you know the answer. What you've done is you've looked at the numbers since Sunday. What do they say?
Yeah, you know, all this stuff about Brat Summer and all that jazz. So I want to take a look at Trump versus Democratic margin. Just remind folks where we were at the end of the 2020 campaign. Joe Biden won voters under the age of 35 by 21 points. What do we see with Kamala Harris? Well, she's still ahead, but the margin here is significantly less than what we saw with Joe Biden back in 2020. She's up by just 9 points. You may make the argument that was better than Biden was doing before he got out, but compared to that Democratic baseline, where Democrats have historically in presidential elections, at least this century, been carrying that young vote by 20 or more percentage points, she is way down from that. So if this is unique support among young voters, I would like to know what non-unique support is. Is it even worse than this?
Is she doing better than Biden was, though?
She was doing slightly better. Maybe Biden was up by, like 6 on average or 5. This is maybe slightly better, but this is not game-changing stuff, Mr. Berman.
All right.
Yeah, you heard it right there. He said this is not game-changing stuff because The people that have decided, the young people, the black people that have decided I'm voting for Trump, do you think they're going to drop him and go to Kamala Harris? No, absolutely not.
What have we seen in terms of motivation?
Yeah, so, the other thing is we talk about vote choice, right? But let's also talk about motivation, right? Because it's not just who you would support, it's whether or not you come out to the polls. And this, I think, is rather interesting. Do Democrats say they're more motivated to turn out after Biden left the race? Well, we do see a significant portion of Democrats who say yes, 39%. The thing I was interested in was it disproportionately younger voters who said that they were more likely to turn out or more motivated to turn out. And what we see here is it's 42%. Not a big difference between 42 and 39%. So this idea, again, that the vice president has unique potential to dig in and get young voters to turn out, John, it's just not there in the numbers despite all the internet memes that are going around.
At least not yet. And one of the issues has been, Harry, this trend, which I think you were among the first to point out. Young voters have changed or say they are changing in a relatively short period of time.
Yeah, oftentimes it's difficult to go against the grain. Kamala Harris may be fighting uphill. So I want to look at party identification again. Voters under the age of 35. Go back to 2020. This is the Pew Research study. This is one of the best studies that we have. And look at that. 56% of young voters said that, in fact, they were Democrats. They identified as Democrat or lean Democratic. You look down at 2024, it's 49%. Look at the Republican jump from 39 to 49%. So when we say that Harris is doing worse than Biden, it's not that she's uniquely bad. It's rather she's fighting uphill. She's trying to fight against a wave that is going against the Democrats among young voters. And Harris may be unique in some ways. Maybe she does slightly better than the generic Democrat, but not all that much.
Yeah, what this was shaping up to be a generational shift. The question is, was it just about Biden? Or was it about his administration? We may find out soon.
We may find out soon, but at this particular point, it doesn't look like Harris is going to be able to fight against the grain too much, Mr.
Harry, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wow, that's bad news there for Kamala Harris, man. The Republicans have gained 13 percentage points for young voters. That is the Trump factor right there. Like I said, guys, I can't think of one single Trump supporter or someone that actually said, I'm voting for Trump, that would actually drop Trump for Kamala Harris. Remember, I told you guys, it is called the Biden-Harris administration, even though Beijing Biden is actually leaving. But Kamala Harris, man, is a part of this administration, man. The bad policies, all this stuff, her name is written all over it, man. Written all over it. Democrats are in big trouble. Big time trouble. And that they pretty much lost the young people voting for him. That is bad right there. That is really bad, guys. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.